to another episode of I Cut My Own Hair, the podcast. I'm Dre. This is me just chatting a little bit more about some stuff that I find interesting. Don't mind my eyes, I just was following a mosquito I think that just went by. Oh, man. Yeah, so, you know, things to talk about. Still in Thailand. Got about another month here before I go back home for a little bit and then come back here. Then just probably travel the world more, honestly. I don't really even know at this point. I'm thinking about selling some stuff and just moving around a lot because, I mean, you know, might as well. I don't have any kids. I don't have that I know of now, but I don't have any kids. Uh, no. I just wanted to hit that button. I don't have any kids. I don't have any relationships that I need to be present for. So yeah, I'm thinking about moving around. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Still kind of getting that all straightened, but yeah, I'm supposed to be going back to America at the end of April for a few months and coming back here and then moving around from there. But we'll see. Just gotta map it out correctly. Um, that's the thing that I've been getting myself into doing more is kind of like mapping things out. Not necessarily talking them out because I feel like when you talk them out, you spend too much time talking and not enough time doing. So it's just do those things. And I don't see how this pain that I was talking about in the last episode is still around. But I need to use my TENS unit because my elbow still feels weird because, as I said before, got some weird pain in my rhomboid that shoots down to my elbow, so it's clearly nerve pain that is very annoying. But if you do have the opportunity to travel at all in any way, shape, form, or fashion, do so, even if it's to another city. Just give yourself a different perspective on things because moving around does change your outlook on things for sure. Because I mean, you're just seeing how other people live, you're adapting to different ways of life, and you're, you know, bettering your worldview. Like, I learned that everybody around the world isn't super hyper vigilant about certain things. So, for instance, one time I went to, I forgot, I think I went to get a massage or something like that with somebody from the gym. And then she met up with her friend and they were going about their business and they like walked back to the gym by themselves. And that was at like 10 o'clock at night and they had to walk like over a mile by themselves. But it's not that I let them do that as far as like I didn't offer a ride or nothing like that. It's that they just did that. But I ran into them as I was coming back to the gym. And they were like, yeah, nah, you know, we're good. You know, we just walked our way back. In my head, that just didn't make any sense because I'm used to America, used to ladies being, you know, worried about their safety because people wild out and like kidnapping and trafficking, all that other stuff that make you hyper vigilant. And they didn't care. They were like from I think like Germany or something like that. So that didn't really cross their mind, and it, I found that to be very eye opening. Just understanding that America's a wild place, but I think it's wild like that because it's so many different walks of life, and so many different places around the world, so many different cultures, subcultures intermingling that it can cause a lot of friction and a lot of community and a lot of amalgamation, a lot of like formation through amalgamation and stuff like that. But at the same time, like a lot of wildness, so you don't really know how to act or react because of so much non-homogeny, but like an homogenous area with like an homogenous kind of way of culture and stuff of that nature. Everybody pretty much moves on the same accord, so they don't have to think the way somebody living in a place that's multicultural does. Have like multiple different kind of other, you know, aspects of life happening at the same time. And I find that to be very very cool. And it's just like wow, just to think like okay, for instance, like a cis hetero woman in America would still be comfortable walking home by herself with her friend, but I mean, if it was the middle of the night, they may think about getting a ride and stuff of that nature because of things that go on in the states, because of the way that our media is presented to the world, or presented to the people that live in America. It's constant fear mongering and stuff of that nature. That's not to say that cis hetero women, trans women, and everybody that identifies as a woman or whatever have you across the spectrum doesn't get attacked, killed, kidnapped, stuff like that all around the world or in America. But it's to say like the way in which it's presented in the states in comparison to other places around the world is not the same. I akin that to when I lived in Thailand in 2020 during COVID on how like the news was reporting COVID in Thailand in comparison to how the news in America was reporting COVID. So, like for instance, while I was in Thailand, South Korea got their first confirmed COVID case at the same time the United States did. And the way in which they presented the information was totally different in the United States. South Korea, I think the health prime minister, whatever, came on. He was very calm, very to the point. Like, this is how many people have passed away. This is how many people are hospitalized. This is how many people have recovered. And this is what we need to do as a nation to move forward. In America, it was dramatic music, telling you how many people died, a lot of speculatory talk. Just, it was a show. And again, the states and South Korea had their confirmed cases at the same time, but one treated it like a pandemic and like something that we need to come together as a community to figure out how we can stop this. We're gonna put the powers that be as far as scientists and health officials in positions to help us, and we're gonna do our due diligence to help ourselves. In the states, it was like just a weird argument over body autonomy, but in draping it in patriotism, and it was odd. It was very odd. I mean, and like I said, to that point, to fast forward to now, where me as an American, like born in America, that land called America, seeing two women walking around late at night, immediately thinking in my head, oh no, hopefully they have gotten a ride. Like, I hope that they're okay. And then seeing them and being like, oh, whew, I'm happy that they're all right. And them thinking like, yeah, no, it's cool. And it's because of the way that I was conditioned from being in the States, and now having that kind of mindset of like that hypervigilance where like it's good in certain respects, but not in all. And when you realize that society isn't as dangerous as it was like 50 years ago, 500 years ago, stuff like that. Like, there's still obviously tragic things going on now and stuff of that nature, but the way in which we can be better is to not allow ourselves to be constantly caught up in a frenzy. And the way in which the American media plays on fear is for funds, because fear is the greatest weapon that was ever created, because it was never created because you can't physically purchase fear, but you can sell it. You can put it in somebody's head and just constantly just keep adding on stuff to it. Like, oh, are you afraid of being out at, are you afraid of are you afraid as a woman walking at night? Or are you a little weary about it? Oh, well, let's put this on in your head that you'll possibly get kidnapped. Well, let's put this blah, 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 blah. Like, build on, build on, build on. And the American media makes a lot of money off of fear. And I mean, I'm sure, and just from like studying like world news and stuff of that nature, there's other places that do that too, to a point. But majority of the way the American media is sold is in the vein of thought to put you constantly like looking over your shoulder, just trying to figure things out. And that kind of plays on the human condition because at the end of the day, we are animals, and think about other animals across this, across the planet. Like for instance, like you see a bug crawling, it can just be crawling, minding its own business, doing nothing. But as soon as you raise your hand and present that threat, that's when it scurries away and tries to find safety. Because at no point in time was it ever thinking about its mortality. It just was living life until you presented something that would possibly take that away from it. But we, as a human animal, we are constantly thinking about mortality and thinking about what's after our mortality and all these other things. And it's constantly putting us in this what's gonna crush us, what's gonna crush us, what's gonna crush us. When in reality, like, just live your life, man. Like, if you can create opportunities for yourself where you can do better, please do so. If you can create an opportunity for yourself where you can travel in any form or fashion, please do so. Whether that be physically going somewhere or just getting yourself into a different kind of hobby or something like that and taking your brain somewhere else. Because in the end, we don't know how much time we have here, so we might as well do as much as we possibly can while we are here. And not waste our existence with thinking about what'll happen when it's over, because that doesn't make any sense. Like I've said this before, thinking about the afterlife is really asinine to me because why would I want to live more after I died? I kind of just want to not do nothing. This is the adventure I want to go on, but after I'm done in the playground, I kind of want to take a nap. So, yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you've watched, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to be cool like the other YouTubers. Check me on, what is that, Anchor, whatnot. The links and all that will be in the bio, and also follow me on Instagram.